Keith, let's just touch on Shelbourne, who lost earlier on today. You saw that really poor goal they conceded in 1-0 defeat, 5 games that I win for them. But the narrative's kind of moved on a bit for that because, Keith, I think we have our first official League of Ireland beef, maybe since the glory days of, Roddy and Pat Dolan, etc., because Stephen Bradley had a go at Damien Duff in his programme notes before the Shamrock Rovers game about Damien not shaking his hand after the recent league game. Said it was really poor, lack of respect from Duffer on that front. And then after the defeat this evening, no doubt Duff probably wasn't in the best of form anyway. Duff has had to go right back at Stephen before Stephen Bradley. He said, I think since Stephen got invited down to the Dáil, he seems to think he can comment on everything at the minute. I didn't shake his hand after the game. I didn't shake any of the staff's hands because I didn't think they deserved it. Boom. Shots fired.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Look, it's very rare we get a non-eventful game, but when we do, Damien Duff just gives you that little bit of goal dust that you need.
We weren't even covering
but Damien Duff, we end up talking about him because no matter what, he ends up giving you a little something to talk about, and he's goal dust. And look, even my missus is not the biggest fan of the League of Ireland, but she talks about Damien Duff and what he's doing with Shelbourne. So I think he's getting more eyes on the League of Ireland, and the Bradley Duff beef, as we call it, I think will get more and more eyes, and that's what we want in the league.
Do you get caught up in that, Ian, or do you just look at results? Do you think this is a real, is it pantomime stuff, or are the two lads kind of getting at each other a bit?
There'll be a little bit in it, but I certainly don't think either one of them is going to back down from this. They've followed up on it for a number of weeks now, and they're coming after each other in their own programme notes and then in post-match interviews that has nothing to do with the other team. So. Yeah. Look,
because they just seem to have a lot of respect for each other. Apparently, it came from originally started that Damien Duff said that 𝐃𝐮𝐟𝐿 was the best player in the league in his view, and Bradley said sometimes Damien can get a bit carried away with his comments, a little bit emotional. It's clear Damien felt he's been patronised a bit by Stephen Bradley. So.
Yeah, look, they're going to keep nipping at each other, but look,
it's glorious.
The thing about Chelsea is they haven't won in 5 games. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what you're saying after the game. You've got to brush all that aside. You've got to get your team back because they've got the quality. They're another team that I can think can grind teams down.
What's the issue there, do you think?
They're just not. They're not scoring enough goals and they're conceding at the other end. It's very, very simple. Yeah. If you look at their possession, I think they 62 or 63% possession against Derry, and they lost the game 2-0. They've done that in numerous games where they're controlling the ball. They're getting a lot of passes in. They're moving it. They're just conceding silly goals. Like you look at the goal tonight, 𝐃𝐮𝐿 will be kicking himself. That should be meat and drink for him, catching that, and they get up the other end of the pitch. But they're conceding silly goals now, and that's going to keep on rippling until they shore themselves up and get back, because that's what Damien built this Shell side on. Really strong defensively, don't give up goals.
He's enough of his play sorting that stuff out without getting into any more rows with other managers, you'd imagine.